Alrighty, folks. Welcome to Champion Select for Game 1 of tonight's BTL semifinal. We are here to see Team DPS square off against Spectre Gaming. These squads were separated by only one game in the regular season. DPS holding down the number 2 spot. Spectre just on their heels at number 3. Should be a very close match tonight. Bringing you all of the action will be myself, Chris Crewman, joined by Finergy. And we're already into draft. Finergy, how you doing? How are we looking so far over here?
I mean, we have, Don't Play Seriously is my meme name for the team in Spectre Gaming with the one, the only, the Lake. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with these teams. They're both entertaining teams to watch. One memes a little bit, and the other one is technically a meme by trade with some of their fucking characters. But both great teams, both really fun to watch, high energy, and great team fights usually.
In other words, the meme versus the memers.
Yes.
What a showdown. Well, we are into the draft already here. So we got the Victor first pick, high Victor priority for Aliskander. And then we've got the Diana Jinx response. So a couple of meta carry options coming through here for Spectre Gaming. Although presumably not Lake's pick just yet. Have to wait on that. Maybe saving counter pick for him up there in the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him play a lot of Ornn this season. I mean, and usually he doesn't get banned out because there are other picks that can deal with that, like Trundle and stuff. But I mean, I'm surprised that they let Aliskander's Victor through. It's probably one of his top played mids. So I haven't seen it let through for weeks and weeks now. So the fact that it just kind of slid through, I don't know if it's out of disrespect or they just had it out of their prio bans.
Very interesting. See if I can get those stats for you guys. Yeah, Victor most played. 43 games, 56% win rate. Not as high as his win rate on Zoe, but still very, very solid, very respectable statistic there for Aliskander.
Also seen him play stuff like I think the season what he do Rakan mid the one game and into a Victor actually and literally just stomped the game. So it's always interesting to see some of the stuff they decide to pull out.
Oh, that's the Yasuo coming through for Spectre Gaming. They've got the Diana Yasuo combo. That could be looking pretty intense. Victor shaking his boots over there, huh?
I mean, you still have Lulu Whimsy to deal with it unless he decides to go cleanse. So I mean, it still locks him down for what at max strength, like 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, definitely. The Lulu pick, I think, is really solid here. I think the champion is probably just a little bit underrated, just in general. The Whimsy in particular can be so disruptive to a lot of these type of engage combo champions, like you said.
Nautilus is a great pick, man. That's honestly one of my favorite supports for just tanks. It's such a just oppressive pick in lane.
Yeah, pairs well with the Jinx and pairs extremely well with the mid jungle that they already have drafted over here for Spectre. It really seems like their draft here for game 1 is coming together nicely.
I've seen Talus play a lot, and I mean a lot of Amumu jungle this season. So, and it usually doesn't get banned. I don't think Amumu is one of those picks where you're feeling like it's gonna change the game, but it's still a really good jungler, and I think maybe partially underrated, but really there are better picks.
Okay, well, the Amumu, and the Victor, they have a lot of magic damage already, even locking in the Cho'Gath as well here. So, full AP topside. They don't have too much in the way of tank yet on the side of Spectre Gaming, so maybe it'll all work out. But, yeah, the Amumu could be good here at shutting down what the Diana and the Yasuo want to do, potentially, but it could also be difficult. Amumu not going to have a very easy time landing bandage toss on all these guys when they're dashing around.
Ice as well.
Kaisa, yeah. So that's even a little bit more magic damage. She's builds AD, or can build AD, I guess I should say, thankfully, for the side of DPS. So they do have some physical damage mixed in there, but certainly a very AP heavy composition. And I don't really know, besides that, what the composition is really trying to do here, Finergy, because Victor really wants to stay back and peel back and just kind of like do his damage from long range. And Kaisa needs to be diving in to get off her damage. So it's a little bit of an interesting draft for DPS. I wonder what your thoughts are, but it's going to be the set last pick to round things out for Spectre.
I'm just wondering. I mean, I do like Spectre's comp more. But I've had a couple games where I've seen DPS and both Spectre play in the past against other teams where comps seemed more beneficial towards one side or the other, and they still end up pulling out a win. I do think that it is a counterintuitive team comp for DPS because maybe they're expecting Victor to sit back a little bit and use Death Ray and then play his gravity field based upon the engage from I don't know. There's so much engage. I don't really know who's going to use it on specifically. Um, it's either at the beginning of the fight and try and peel off some of the damage, or middle of the fight and you're probably already getting all the damage off, and then hoping that you're still alive by the end of the fight. So I don't know. This is definitely an interesting draft for the side of DPS.
Yeah, it definitely is. Oh, and I'm kind of curious about this set last pick. That looks pretty good to me. He's gonna be going up against the Cho'Gath in the top lane, and you said you weren't really sure who is going to be going for that initial engage, and I completely agree with you because really it could be anybody on the side of Spectre except for maybe Jake's. I guess you could argue Flame Chompers are a form of engage, but eh, but back to the top lane Finergy really quick here. Set is going to be going up against the Cho'Gath, and I have to feel that Set is going to be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I mean his Q doing that, and I could be wrong. I could have swore that his Q does percentage.
The
So
Q, actually not sure myself.
I thought the double. Well, his passive does percentage health.
His ult definitely does.
So the fact that you have such a big top lane, like even Cho'Gath even gets a small lead, sets can still make huge, huge ults. So I just don't know how this is going to play in team fights for them because even if the Mumu gets health and Talus's Mumu has health, there's still two options. I mean, you can carry them out of the fight, even if you're in a situation where like crap, our team's going to die. Just take them out of the fight and sacrifice yourself. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know. I think
we'll
that
see.
the lane, the top lane will determine a lot of the factor of this game. I think because Victor's going to scale regardless, but if Cho'Gath falls behind, I think it's just going to be really difficult.
Okay, so top lane is the lane to watch, huh, Finergy?
I felt that way for a lot of teams this season, specifically these two teams.
Okay, well, that is definitely exciting stuff. We'll have to keep our camera tracked up there for a good amount of this early game. Although the mid lane, I think, could also be worth watching. Victor, not something that is traditionally seen as a strong laner early on, but he certainly can pack a punch if you don't respect him, and does have that range advantage versus the Yasuo. What do you think about that mid lane, Finergy?
I think it will be contingent upon how much pressure is put down by Talus, honestly, because if Victor doesn't get started early, he's going to have a really rough time. I agree with you. Yasuo is definitely one of those lanes you don't want to give any type of early pressure towards, but I mean, if he gets it, he gets it, and he gets a lead, then Victor's just going to have to play, pretty much off of just farming, maybe giving up some CS and waiting for Talus if there's an option for him to even play towards the lane.
Yeah, if Yasuo gets ahead of the curve here, with the Diana on his team, she's got a nice, juicy backline there to look for in these team fights. So yeah, wow, it's gonna be a little bit of a scary draft to face down, I think, over here on the side of Spectre. I definitely think that they probably gained the advantage coming out of Champion Select here in game number one. What do you think, Finergy? Do you think there's a clear winner of draft for our first game?
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to go with Spectre. I mean, it's on draft 100% off of teams. It's really hard to say. DPS had the top seed for the most of the season, fell out of it, and Spectre was pretty much climbing up through it as well. I think middle of the season, and now we're at where we're at. So it's really anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, absolutely could go either way. We have talked about both of the solo lanes a little bit. We could move down to the bottom lane now, Finergy, for just a moment if you like. We are into the spectator delay now, guys. So just about 3 more minutes. We'll be getting on into that first game of the night. But in the meantime, Kaisa Lulu versus Jinx Nautilus. How do you think this lane is going to play out? Who's going to be getting the push early? And do you expect any jungle attention down here?
I do expect early ganks from the Diana specifically on the bot side. I mean, because I would like to see Kaisa get behind. I think again she's another one of those champions where once she gets a lead, it's kind of annoying to deal with. Um,
Mhm.
but I mean, it's just hard to tell. I mean, I don't know how the junglers are going to path. I know how they probably should path technically, But I mean, it depends on who they want to play towards. Your Bad Connection, I've watched him play time and time again. Usually has optimal positioning in most of his team fights, and I'm upset that they banned out the Lucian because he plays so well on that Lucian. But I mean, it's expected. So
yeah, I can't let him have such a strong power pick, especially in such an important game. Just would not really be a smart thing to do. So now we have only the jungle to talk about. Amumu versus Diana, both clear relatively fast, although Diana, I think, does have a little bit of an edge in terms of clear speed. So where do you expect them to go early on? You said you knew how they should be pathing. So maybe start there.
I do expect most junglers to start on their red, just bottom side jungle here, usually in path. Either go a full clear on the bot side for level 3 and then gank right away, or they're just going to go for a full clear. And I know it's one of the two. It depends on how much pressure he wants to put mid. I would like to see Swagasm possibly do a full clear of his jungle and then just rotate to mid and try and get Aliskander early kill against Aliskander, because he is a really good mid laner out of this league. But again, I don't know. He may go for a full clear, but I would like to see him go for that and either go bot or middle here and get Yasuo ahead early.
Okay. Well, Diana does typically like to power clear towards level 6, but she certainly has a lot of setup in these lanes that she can potentially work with. So we'll see what Swagasm decides to do early on. We're only 30 seconds left on the spectator delay, folks. We are going to go to a short break, but don't go anywhere. We will have Game 1 of tonight's BTL Season 12 semifinal starting right after this.
Sleeping giants, sleeping giants. Yeah. Shutting it down, been in the grind, my people all up in this place. Spinning this thing, go to my rank, royalty up in my veins. I'm loco, think I'm so cold, I say something, ain't no going back. Now they ask where Kiki's at, I'm like, you can't hang with that. 쏟아져 빛이 멀게 된 눈이 멈추지 않아. Once we go, 내게 더운 낼로 모든 뼈 빨리 달려. 넌 못 따라와. True damage we do it, true damage 보여줄게. 뭐든 쉽게 이기든 지든 my crew make the beat. No one could stop us, they'll try, but they won't. Nada nos puede parar. Oh no, we're wide awake now. Our eyes are wide open. We're running this world. We're keeping it turning. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. It's not the way we're waiting, but we're coming right back. This time they're gonna see how we do it like that. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. Oh, sleeping giants. Sleeping giants.
I keep on shattering time. I might just leave you behind. Homie, you stuck on rewind. Look, you should quit sleeping on mine. You got your back on reclined. When I damage your delicate spine, please don't act out, shy and surprised. They be like, what you mean? What is your winning scheme? I got a giant team. Biggest my self-esteem. Run it back, running man. They think they go hard, I'm like, come again. You run at a time and I'm busting in. While you stumbling, I got this blade in my hand for your punishment.
We're wide awake now. Our eyes are wide open. We're running this world. We're keeping it turning. We're living.
I think we're mid to later in the season, because they had top seed for a while. They were like one of the top teams. I mean, they just were not losing. I think they had.
Minions have spawned.
Let's see. What are you unpaused, Finergy? What
I'm
time
not,
are you?
sir.
Okay, so this tree
wait,
is just
he's
kind of going off on its own.
expected. I'm just kind of curious here to see if Swagasm decides to get an early gank, or if they're just going to both do full clears and try and make something happen your top side. I mean, Quaker pushing, I know it's going to bounce back, so by the time Amumu gets up there, maybe he can make something happen. And the top, oh wow. The early gank in mid lane from Talus, I was wrong.
He had a little bit of an angle there, but not able to. Oh, that's a knock up. A rupture connects onto Lake, and he is one auto from dead. Oh, the picture quality on this stream is terrible. I can't see what's happening. I hear Yasuo building up Q3. I'm getting some audio glitches too. Finergy, is it working for you?
It is, but I also have it pulled up with the correct time on my my spectator.
Oh, that's what it is. Here, can you just take over for a second, Finergy? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Alright, so we have bot side here, Hyper and Shock just looking to try and make a pick, possibly on the bot side, and Amumu on Gromp, and we're tracking Diana, possibly going for red here, and then just maybe going to back. There's really nowhere to gank. And learning here, getting off some damage, the sweeping blade, some auto attacks, gravity field, and just going to dash out and take his licks. Knowles with the fat dredge line, the zap, separate in his own Sparrow, the whimsy, is it enough with the ignite? The shield, and that's Hyper going down. First blood over to your bad connection, position where he needed to be when he needed to be, and Shock with the staggering blow auto. Can he take 2 for 1?
He's looking for it. Looks like he got it. Shock 2-0 now on the board for the Nautilus. Now Vanish Toss connects, learning extremely low, ignites, but he's not going to save himself. Goes down underneath the tower there. Can you give me your time again really quick, Finergy? Sorry.
434, 35.
Oh, looks like I'm perfect. Awesome. Fantastic. Okay. Alrighty. So, it's going to be Quaker just pushing underneath this tower here. Swagasm did make his first gank in. Gonna go back in with the E. Lake with the Haymaker. Quaker down to 200. Going underneath the tower. One more auto. There it is. Swagasm flashes in for the last hit. And that is going to be Spectre Gaming up 3-2.
That was the one thing we were worried about, was that early pressure on top. So I still feel like top lane will kind of dictate this game, and I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it was Cho'Gath's first death of the game. You know, he thought he was safe, actually, underneath the tower there. He kind of dodged out on the initial gank coming through from the Diana, but he ended up just stepping a little bit too far forward, let himself get hit by another Q there, I believe, and just kind of, or I guess Swagasm just used the E first and then the Q to finish him off. Nicely played by Swagasm, and just Quaker needed to play that a little bit more respectfully, I think. Wow, bottom side, the bottom lane for DPS has a nice big wave here that they're trying to push out, but it looks like it's just going to be the push back coming through from Spectre. And the roam up towards that first neutral of the game. We got a Hextech Dragon up first here, Finergy. And looks like that one will be secured by Spectre.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any contesting this. They just have too much pressure. All lanes are ahead right now, so.
Amumu not even remotely in the area, so that will be an uncontested first neutral. I mean, when you've got your Nautilus support who's this fed, like, I don't know how you could not go for the Dragon there.
How could you go wrong, right? What could possibly go wrong in this lane phase?
He does have a little bit of a shutdown, so I guess he does have to watch out for that.
Yeah, that is the downside, but I mean, he does have Glacial. Glacial does kind of shut down some of the damage, and we also have a pause here.
Oh, we got some technical issues for one of the players over here on Spectre Gaming, so just gonna need to
on pause already. Nobody even said anything. Holy moly, that was quick.
Yes, the PC just kind of unblew up, like it blew up and then put itself back together really fast.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either.
I hear that happens sometimes. This is just our very standard post-pause pause, guys. Nothing to be worried or alarmed about here. Just give us a moment and we will be back into it for you. Actually, my thing is Can I get your time again?
I got 650, 51, 52.
Okay, we are still synced.
Yeah, what was that post-pause pause? So quite awkward for a second there.
Yeah, absolutely. But looks like we're back on into the game. No issues. Just a very, very slight gold lead for Spectre Gaming here early on.
I think it's smart for him to go Warden's Mail here. I don't think he really has too many options. Maybe slow down some of that damage, but I don't know if it was the optimal first pick. I mean,
For the Cho'Gath, the
Yeah.
Warden's Mail. Yeah, absolutely. I think makes a lot of sense. You're probably going to want to go Randuin's this game at some point into Yasuo Jinx.
100%. Yeah.
So yeah, Warden's Mail early on against Set is also going to be very, very helpful. Definitely agree. And Quaker is able to pick up a reasonable amount of that farm underneath the tower. He's just not really able to leave the tower very much. That's going to be a dredge line into a last breath. Oh, and the blast cone is denied from Talus. The sad little mummy found some friends, but I don't know if those are really the friends you want to keep around, Talus. 4-2, Spectre Gaming.
Death's Door with his last breath, that is true. Just a move. not able to do anything. Left in the cold.
And the denial on the blast cone there, sealing the deal. Not sure who hit the blast cone, but that was pretty intelligent. It might have actually been Talus trying to get over the wall and just ended up mispositioning.
So. Yeah.
Does happen. That's a nice rupture to dodge out on the Haymaker sweet spot, but I still don't think you want to be standing there auto-attacking Set, my dude.
And he's got full Conqueror stacks, and he's just still deciding to trade. He said, it's fine. I'll be alright.
It was a nice rupture. He just kind of got his nice rupture and then forgot for a second that it was Set. But that's all right. He's still doing okay up here. He's got to get his face broken a little bit. And Lake does, I believe, have another Haymaker. There it is. So he's going to get Quaker chunked a bit low there, but another nice rupture. Does connect. Trades back a little bit onto the Set. Unfortunately for Cho'Gath, he does have mana. And Set does not. So that is going to be a little bit difficult. And did have to go back to base, as we can see. So the Cho'Gath forced to go reset once again, but probably a smart play from Quaker, not wanting to put himself in a bad situation. But it looks like that wave is actually pushing away from him, Finergy, up in that top lane. Cho'Gath potentially going to get frozen on here. He does have his jungler on the top side of the map, but Diana's also in the area.
Yeah, I think I would, if I was Diana, I would definitely play towards top here and try and get another kill on Cho'Gath and go for mid.
Yeah. Looks like the angle is to move towards mid lane for now for Swagazm. Just wants to get this control ward cleared out. Is able to do so successfully. So he's kind of waiting around. He has his support in the area now. Oh, it's another nice rupture. Quaker has the feast available, so Lake does have to keep that in mind. Can't be allowing himself to get too low up here.
He's hitting the rupture again. Oh my God.
A lot of these ruptures have connected from Quaker. Really nice, but
there
he
it is.
Overextended a little bit too much. Yeah, we saw this one coming, didn't we, Finergy? Wave pushing away. I think the showstopper may have been a little bit overkill there, but you know what? It's about sending a message, and the message from Lake is, "Hi, Cho'Gath, you're still losing this lane. Goodbye." Here's Sparrow going to take up a very nice number of tower shots. Oh, but it's not enough. Bad connection. Does go down in the end. Even burns the flash and the heal, but still is not able to survive. Makes it a 1-for-1. Talus now over the wall, able to completely destroy Learning here on this Yasuo. Full stun lock combo from the mid jungle of DPS, and they're still in this one.
I do want to point out that Sparrow decided to say, I don't need to ignite here. We're fine. And just held ignite. It was up the entire fight. I watched the timers. I rewatched it. Ignite held for some reason.
He maybe just like didn't want to take the kill and thought that they had it anyway. But yeah, in retrospect, sure, holding on to the ignite does seem a bit troll. That's the flash into the missed dredge line shock. Not quite able to find that one. The dragon looks like it will be secured here. Amumu a little bit late with the attempted bandage toss steal, but that's going to be... That charge line does connect, and Shakamaru has the Hourglass to a golden, but Swag has him running out of HP, forced to flash away to keep himself alive, and he actually does burn down the Chaos Storm over the wall. Alexander able to pick up his first of the game. And that's actually a kill onto the Nautilus. Shock will get finished off as well, so they're able to secure the Dragon. That's the Q3 into the R. The Ignite comes down. Flash follow for Learning, but he's stuck on the ground. Alexander's still alive. The shield, it's not enough. Learning dashes back in with another E, able to pick up that kill onto the enemy mid laner. Has the double Q into the double dot, or dash through, but it's not enough. Does end up getting taken down by the Amumu, 1-for-1 in mid lane. And these teams are really starting to cut loose here, Finergy.
Only a 1K gold lead. I mean, it really is still anybody's game. It's just constant fighting, which I am not expecting out of this game. I think semifinals, I think, all right, guys, let's play to our strengths. No, they just said, throw it out the window. We're going to fight. That's it. Fight.
Yeah, there certainly has been no shortage of action here. It's not even 14 minutes yet, and we're already at 14 kills. You'll love to see it.
I think everyone's decided to step it up just a little bit here for this game. It's in semifinals. I guess we have to get serious. Can't just farm and play for team fights. Nobody wants to see that. This isn't the LCS.
That's true. I actually didn't see the series from earlier yet.
I have not watched it. Nobody ruin it in the stream. I will
no spoilers, guys. No spoilers. Okay, so we've got the Facebreaker coming in here. Lake looking for a little bit more. Just gonna land a couple of punches for now. Has the Hull Breaker completed? Or, well, I thought I saw the little Hull Breaker item next to his icon next to his. Oh, my scoreboard is bugged. Okay, yeah. He does have the Hull Breaker. I had to trust my eyes more, I guess. Yeah, Lake with the completed Hull Breaker, able to keep up the pressure up here in this top lane. Cho'Gath does have his Warden's Mail as well, but...
Okay, but wait, we have an Alexander coming from behind here.
Okay, the mid laner making his way up here. Set does have the Showstopper, but can he get it off? There it is, into the wall, as the Haymaker as well. A lot of damage onto the Cho'Gath. Meanwhile, bot lane, Fierce Bear running out of HP. That's the Moonfall, and this gets finished off by the Diana. Link able to take out Cho'Gath in the 1v2, but the Chaos Storm will finish him off. Victor has the range and the damage, and Set will go down 1-for-1 in top lane, but meanwhile, Swagasm just completely demolishing the bottom side of the map here. Spectre Gaming coming out massively ahead.
Yeah, that 1K gold lead just got completely shut down.
Gonna get the charge even onto the tier 2 with this first Herald. Maybe even able to fully take it out. Diana and Jinx both pretty good at shredding those structures, and they are able to get 2 turrets down there in that bottom lane. And now the rotation towards mid. Oh, Quaker, very nice. Gets a feast stack off of Shelly there. That is pretty big for the Cho'Gath. And it will be the reset coming through. Yeah, I think Spectre Gaming really just wants to spend their gold. Oh, but Fierce Sparrow. Oh, that jungle does not belong to you right now, little Lulu. He's going to get taken out once again here. Poor Lulu right out of the base, straight back into the death chamber.
I wonder if it tastes like purple.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. Now we will see those resets come through for the side of Spectre, able to spend their hard-earned gold. And I'm thinking this mid-tier 1 is likely to be the next target, especially with our Ocean Soul point coming up in just over a minute, Finergy.
Yeah, I mean, they have all the pressure right now. I was surprised they didn't. I don't know. They didn't ward up, honestly, on their way out, which I would kind of expect that if you have the pressure, why not ward defensively now? So you can pretty much say, oh, let's just take the fight. We're ahead anyway.
Yeah, are looking. They did have some vision control over the enemy bot side jungle, right? Which is how they were able to get that extra pick onto the Lulu. But yes, they kind of neglected to get any vision in the actual river itself. And as we can see, the side of DPS has now moved in to claim control over this territory. Still 30 seconds on the Dragon. Looks like it's going to be mid-push, held by Spectre for now, as well as bot push learning. Getting that bot wave shoved in and very intelligently going to back away, not going to walk through the
top
river.
Pressure, though. I mean, look at Lake up there. Ballbreaker just slapping turrets.
He's just heading straight towards that inhibitor. Yeah, he was able to take the tier 1, and he's already on to the tier 2. It's going to be mid push reclaimed by DPS, but you guys, you're losing your 2-2. Oh, that's a cancel. Comes on the flash, and Kaiser, the killer instinct, is aptly named for bad connection, but it's going to be Victor locked up, and the last breath from Yasuo gets completely taken out. Swag has been a 1v2, drops the moonfall, is not able to survive the burn from the Amumu, and now Yasuo in there with the Q3, but it may have overextended himself a little bit. Gonna get feasted on by the Cho'Gath. Quaker teleporting into the play. Blake also teleporting in a little bit later. Actually had to run, I believe, throws out the Haymaker, but it's not enough. He's in a 1v4 and he can't do it. The set goes down, and it's a 4-for-1 team fight for Team DPS.
Usually knows Ted is the flying Vestein because of his ult, but I think, you know, after that it's the crying Vestein because he's going to ask his team where were they, and he just went in 1v4 expecting more.
They were all dead already. That's the unfortunate reality of it. It was Diana kind of got, well, I guess it was Jinx got taken out first underneath the tier 1 there by the Chaos Storm Killer Instinct combo from the carries of DPS, and then Diana died in a 1v2 against Amumu and Lulu. And then Yasuo kind of went in after she was dead to follow up, and then he died. And it was just not very coordinated coming through from Spectre Gaming, I think, in that fight.
No, it did not feel like it, at least. And steadily, Victor just scaling into the game. And look at the CS lead. You have a, what was it, 34 CS lead?
Yeah, it is a massive CS lead, but we also have to recognize that Quaker is the one who made it to that last team fight first. He was the one able to arrive and turn the tide in favor of his squad, getting that Devour onto, I believe it was the Yasuo, or maybe the Diana, I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, we did have Lake take 2 turrets topside, so I think that's part of the reason
that is true.
So late. So
that is true. Yes.
I think he should have just cut his losses and maybe not came into the fight. Just said, "All right, guys, I'm sorry."
He would have probably got the inhibitor, right? If he just kept pushing and all 5 DPS were mid.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that could have been a pretty solid play for the set, but not what he decided to go for. They did, of course, lose out on the Dragon as well. So DPS able to stabilize here very effectively. We are still down about 2,000 golds on the side of Team DPS, but they're fighting back valiantly, and they do have the Victor scaling to rely on.
Yeah, I think maybe in that situation you just take the inhib turret, leave the inhib to not give out the bonus gold to the side of DPS, and then just go put pressure somewhere else. Because there, if you rotate down to bot side, go to take bot side, and just open up the map there, they can always rotate the Baron on the side of Spectre and try and take Baron.
Absolutely. That's a very common strategy that we see with a lot of these champs that build Hullbreaker, is you just go towards the opposite side of the map from where the neutral is alive, and you just create an absurd amount of pressure and just allow your team full control over the opposite side of the map. We'll see if we are able to notice something like that, some kind of play like that coming through from Lake and Spectre Gaming overall. He is returned to the top lane for now here on the set, looking to match the push coming through from Aliskander, but probably at some point wants to find his way back into that lane with the Cho'Gath, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think Quaker's definitely back to where he needed to be in the game, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see if he just puts down the pressure that we expected in the beginning.
Also, interesting buy here for the Cho'Gath. Went for Anathema's Chains. I wonder who he has that chained to. How do we check?
I don't know if you can click on it and just see the...
Let's see if we can click on him. Yeah, it doesn't say.
They do 66 damage, so I would like to say he's probably putting it on the set, but...
Oh, Stragasm? He's fine. Yeah, likely on the set would be my guess as well, but hard to say for sure. You know, you could also... Diana is the only magic damage in their team, and since Cho'Gath has a frozen heart already, could be smart to deny her damage, potentially. But we just, unfortunately, are not really sure who he actually has used the active on. No way to find out.
I think right now there's not a lot of objective on the map other than Baron, so yeah, just maybe clear out some vision and then just, you know, maybe let top laner split here and then just see what happens.
Yeah, we have about 1 minute on Dragon number 4. So it looks like we are going to be seeing the team starting to move over towards that side of the map. Lake is in the top lane, but he does have his teleport. Same story for Aliskander here on the Victor. Laying into the set a little bit. He is able to abuse that range advantage here for the Victor very, very easily, very effectively. As we can see, Set can't even walk up to the wave without getting a bunch of death rays to the face. Flash into the face breaker. Isn't enough, though. He just goes gold and denies the ultimate, and Leg ends up looking very, very silly. Just flashes so that he could die faster, basically. There on the set, and now we got the teleport down to the bot lane for Victor. 4v5. Spectre Gaming in some trouble. It's going to be the knockup onto the Diana. She gets devoured by the Cho'Gath, and it's going to be the Jinx picked off on the other side of the fight as well. Learning underneath this tier 1, doing what he can, but what he can is nothing at all. The tower will fall. Spectre Gaming will fall, and it's going to be Team DPS taking the reins of this game for the first time here in game number 1.
I think giving Aliskander way too big of a lead this game. He's just huge, and so is your back connection.
You called it out in Champion Select here, Fenergy, that the Victor for Aliskander could be a big difference maker. That's absolutely what we're seeing here. Got the solo kill top lane, teleported bot, got another solo kill in the river. Absolute insanity.
Steadily picking them apart, piece by piece.
So now we have the Baron alive. We do see the Set has made his way down towards the bottom lane this time around. So we're gonna have Yasuo going towards the top lane. I do appreciate the fact that we've been seeing both sides consistently manage their side waves. Something I'm often frustrated by in my own games personally. So my team doesn't seem to understand what a side lane is. So love to see that strong map management coming through from both teams here in this one.
I mean, it's just like when you're having a meal. Are the sides not any less important than the main course? I mean, you still have to appreciate them.
Yeah, gotta clean your plate, guys. Gotta clean your map. Don't want to be letting those minion waves just waste away in front of the towers.
Exactly.
It's just not really acceptable.
Those minions are not perishable. That can still be a meal. Cho'Gath can attest to it.
He certainly can. He is a hungry boy up there. He's getting pretty big and strong here on the Cho'Gath, I gotta say. He is getting his nutrients one way or another, that's for sure. So, guys, I'm looking to clear out some vision, but gonna get hit by the bandage toss. Looks like I thought maybe he was in trouble for a second there, but Talus not wanting to use the ultimate on only one target. Maybe just feeling like there's not much to fight for right now. Didn't have his Victor in the area also, so maybe want to be a little bit more hesitant if you don't have your super fed Victor to follow up there.
The downside is he just made him use Sparrow have to use Shurelius in a situation where he shouldn't have had to.
True. It's not the longest of cooldowns, but as we can see, Luby will not have that available for a little while, maybe 30 more seconds or so.
It's nice to have it for engages. I prefer
Certainly.
As a support main, I most certainly love Shurelius.
Yeah, what do you think about the item choice on Lulu in this game, just in general?
I don't think fights really are going to go long enough for Moonstone to be a huge factor. I think Shurelius just adds the mobility that they really need as a team to try and peel away or to engage. So, and I would never see Imperial Mandate on a Lulu. If I saw that, I would just alt F4 the game. I would just expect that my support's trolling as a Lulu, and I would just question everything that happened henceforth.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense there. I think, yeah, you make a great point. Cho'Gath, no mobility. Victor, no mobility, really. So the speed up from the Shurelius and the Lulu there could be extremely valuable in closing the distance on some of these slippery targets over here for Spectre Gaming.
And if you're still trying to close the gap and kite around as Kaisa, you still have your E, you have the Whimsy, and you have the Shurelius. So it allows you to just pretty much run around and just kind of auto-attack and maybe get your pass off a little bit more against people like the Diana or against the Set, or even the Nautilus to take them out of the fight situations.
Yes, they will have the fast over here for the side of Team DPS. Definitely something to look for. And now, just like that, Fenergy, we're 90 seconds out on a potential Ocean Soul for either one of these two teams. And now, it's DPS who have the upper hand. So if you're the side of of Spectre Gaming. Do you think they're taking the appropriate steps here to try and set up for this objective? It's about a minute out still. We're contesting.
Spectre has a vision they need right now. I mean, it's either
Yeah, it's gonna be Swagger going in for the moonfall. He found the enemy Victor. The Super Mega Death Dragon is immune, and he flashes over the wall, keeps himself alive. Now Swag has him in a world of trouble here. The depth charge comes down, and Diana flashing away, trying to stay alive, but it's going to be the Nautilus devoured at the start of this one. Quaker finds the first kill. Now Lake knocked up by the Rupture. Diana still on the run in that bottom lane, trying to escape. The Showstopper in now for Lake. Big engage, but where's the follow-up? Haymaker comes up, and the set in the middle of 4 just goes down, and then Talus nails the bandage toss. It's Kai'Sa flying in with the Killer Instinct, manages to stay alive, survives the Yasuo. Jinx getting out all the auto attacks in the world, but it just doesn't matter. It's going to be the Kai'Sa flashing forward, unfortunately, into a sword. Learning able to get one back, but it's another massive teamfight win for DPS. And they're going to be able to get everything on the map.
I don't even know what to say here. I'm just kind of at a loss for words, honestly. I mean, the team the meme is either live by the lake or die by the lake, and they're dying by the lake.
Well, I don't know if that was entirely his fault. I mean, it was a poor engage because his team had kind of already lost the fight. But, you know, really, that was a nice Chaos Storm. Yeah, forces the flash out from Shakamaru. And as we see the dragon get feasted on by Quaker, very nice. He had the cooldown on the ultimate back. Sorry, what was that, Finergy?
I'm just curious how many stacks he has at this point.
Yeah, let us know. So, but yeah, that last fight was just a little bit unfortunate. I really credit Aliskander's Victor, honestly, with making that so favorable for the side of DPS. Able to buy so much time at the start of that, soaked 3 ultimates and lived. Like, yeah. Victor kind of just carried that. So how many stacks on the Cho'Gath do we got, Finergy?
That's what I'm trying to find for you. Let's see what I can do here. Let's see.
We got the pause again coming through.
11.
11. Wow. Well, there you go.
That's 11 a lot of stacks.
Yeah, at 28 minutes. That's kind of scary.
He's getting pretty big.
The sky's the limit. That's not because of the Rupture or any of the other memes from now.
Excellent, excellent. Well, let's see here. We've got the Baron appears to be a consideration now for both of these squads. We can see that Spectre Gaming wants to get some vision control over the area here while we're in the pause. Do you think that the lead at this point in the game for Team DPS is significant enough to where they can try and start trying to force this objective, or at the very least a fight around this objective? Or would you prefer for them to continue playing it a little bit slower?
I think they can fake start it, get it down maybe 2,000 health at most, and then just turn back on the team and kill them. I think Aliskander's big enough. I think, you know, the Ruptures from Quaker have been landing like they need to, and your back connections position has been good this game, so which I always see from him. I don't think I've ever seen him play ADC and not position well.
Yeah, absolutely. The turn, I think, is pretty good for Team DPS also, with the Shurelya's Lulu that you were pointing out earlier, as well as the Amumu, of course.
Definitely have Chemtech on Lulu now as well.
Yeah, the Putrefier going to be cutting all of that healing that Yasuo wants to do. Good stuff. Aliskander, level 16 on the Victor. Steps forward, getting down those death rates. Shurelya's popped. Your back connection, using the Killer Instinct straight into some Flame Chompers there. Gonna be Talus going in onto the enemy jungler. Has a level advantage here. Gonna get a knock-up as well. Swagasm goes in because he has no other choice. And he is just going to get cut down. Yeah, the Wild Growth there getting the knock-up. I was a little bit confused about that. Good call out there, Finergy.
Yeah, I don't know if you need a Wild Growth. You still have another bandage toss from Amumu, but maybe just saving the Curse of the Sad Mummy for a bigger fight is better, so...
Yeah, for multiple targets, perhaps a bigger Amumu ultimate could be valuable here. There is a vision in the pit. The control ward, oh, it does spot the ward in the back, so no vision and no jungler for the side of Spectre Gaming means there's no chance to secure that objective for them. They are going to be able to walk into the river here, but only after the side of Team DPS has gotten what they came for.
Yeah, I don't know if they can overcome the lead right now because they're just kind of choking them out of the game objectively and just placing pressure.
Yeah, the advantage is getting quite significant here for the side of Team DPS. Team DPS, excuse me. But yeah, I mean, we were both, I think, so excited to see this Wumbo combo teamfight composition come through from the side of Spectre Gaming, but they just had a couple of fights, I think, where the execution wasn't really there. And when you have a volatile draft like this, falling behind can make your game extraordinarily difficult. There is always the chance of finding the miracle team fight and getting off that big Wombo combo and turning the game around once again, but it just gets really difficult when you don't necessarily have the gold to make it work as effectively.
You have Lulu, you have the Zonias on Alexander, and it's just it makes it so much harder to try and lock any actual kill down.
We see the mid push coming through. Baron buff on for, I believe, all 5 members, or maybe just 4 members of the side of Team DPS.
Oh no, Quaker, what are you doing?
Gonna get pulled back a little bit. He is really tanky. He can buy a lot of time. And Mumu is here with the follow-up. He's got the 4-man curse of the sad mummy into the back line. Swagasm goes in, but once again, he's like, where's my follow-up? Well, they were all stunned. Mumu stunned your entire team, Diana. I'm sorry. Alexander into the back line. He's gonna be able to get a triple kill for himself to finish off this game. One more death ray, I think, will finish off the sad lake. Turns back around, wants to try and find himself a couple of punches. Has the showstopper as well, but this Victor is so tanky. Alexander, level 18. He is just unkillable. He's running down the entire enemy team. He's not able to get Lake set, able to escape back to the fountain there. But the tower and the inhibitors, they cannot run away, Finergy.
Quaker's just so tanky with that gargoyle. I wasn't even gargoyle, was it? No.
Just Lulu shields.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a big boy, all right. Look at the size of him. Big chunky boy. Quaker doing a little dance at the end here. Very clean game in the end for Team DPS. Able to close that one out in a very convincing fashion. And from Spectre, I think we're left just wanting a little bit more, right, Finergy?
Exactly. And, you know, from Quaker, from those who doubted that lane, don't let anybody tell you size doesn't matter.
It was us. We were the doubters. But
Yes.
the Cho'Gath, he stayed strong up there. He got killed off a couple of times, I think. But he scaled up. He got his feast stacks. And he was absolutely the bigger top laner by the end of that game.
Yeah, and I am surprised. I know people probably questioning that as well because Talus does play so much a Mumu. Why would you let somebody pick the champion as a comfort champion between the Mumu, the Victor, and then I'm just a little left out in the dust here and just kind of like deer in headlights. Why is my question? Is it disrespect? Is it maybe just like, oh, it's game 1, who cares?
Yeah, it's certainly a little bit of a head scratcher there, Finergy. But, you know, with that being said, I think there are some very actionable things that Spectre Gaming can do heading towards our second game, specifically in the drafting phase. Some things that you were just talking about that would allow them to have probably a better chance here moving forward towards the rest of the series. So that'll be certainly interesting to watch. But, folks, I think we are going to go to a short break. After this game number 1, the teams need just a few minutes to regroup, as do us, your casters. So please bear with us just for a little while as we get that second game all set up for you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more of the BTL Season 12 postseason right after this.